Hi everyone, welcome back to lizfenwickdiy. I am so excited. I have 3 amazing projects to share with you today. I've been working on them all week and I just love them all. So let's get started with our first project. We are going to be making a sign. So you guys know how I love going to Habitat Restore. I think it's a great store and I always find some awesome things. Well, I picked up this cabinet door at Habitat for Humanity and they just sell cabinet doors, and I think it's off of, things that just kind of fall apart, so they sell the cabinets. So I picked up this cabinet door for $1. So the first thing I needed to do was fill in the wood holes on this cabinet door. So I just took some wood filler and put it into the holes on the door. Next, I'm going to let that dry completely, and then I'm going to come in with 2 coats of Waverly White chalk paint and paint my sign. You guys know I love things to look distressed, so I'm going to wet distress. To do that, just take a rag and saturate it with water, wring it out, and then you're just going to lightly remove paint wherever you want it to be removed. I'm just gonna do a little bit on the edges and kind of in so you can see that detail. I have had my eye on these Hobby Lobby wreaths for a long time, and you guys know the secret with Hobby Lobby: make sure you get everything 50% off. So I went when it was 50% off and I got this wreath for $10, and I thought it would be so cute on this sign. So to attach it to my board, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use some Dollar Tree ribbon that you can get most times of the year, and I'm just gonna cut some off, string it through my wreath, and then I will hot glue it on the back. You just want to make sure that you center it up. I used one of my measuring boards to make sure that I got it directly in the center. Now, to make the sign on here super simple, I'm going to be using a Dollar Tree sticker that you guys can get. I think it comes with thankful, grateful, and blessed. I'm going to be using the thankful sign at the bottom. So I'm just going to peel it off and stick it to the bottom. And how adorable does this look sitting in my hallway? I want to quickly tell you guys about today's sponsor, which is Ring. I love having Ring in my house. You guys know Ring as a doorbell system to really help keep your house safe, and I love it for that. We know exactly when packages are being delivered to our home. You're able to talk to anyone at the front door when you're unable to answer the door, or frankly just don't want to answer the door. Thanks, just leave it by the front door. It's also great if you have family members who are in the front yard and you need to ask them something and you're inside. You can quickly ask them a question. Hey Caroline, what do you need?
Can I water the plant, Mom?
Sure. The Ring app is so convenient and you can quickly pull it up on any phone. Since you guys are one of my subscribers, you have a special offer of a Ring welcome kit. To receive your exclusive offer to Ring, just go to obvs.ly/mydiy. And now let's get back to the projects. So the next project we're going to do is this cute basket that I found at the thrift store. I believe I got this basket for 50 cents. And the reason I love this basket is because I love the shape of it. I've seen so many people having these hanging baskets and they're spending quite a bit of money on them. But I wasn't in love with the color of it. So the first thing I did was along the handle, I took off the excess basket that was just kind of falling apart. Next, I'm using my favorite stain, and I actually just went and bought a new one of these, but I'm using the little bit of the last that I had in this, and it's a stain called Briar Smoke from Rust-Oleum. And I'm going to be using gloves so I don't get the stain all over me, and I'll just stick a rag into the Briar Smoke, and then I will wipe it onto my basket and wipe off any excess stain. And I'll do this until I have my desired look in the stain. Once you get as much stain on as you like, and I wanted it to be a bit darker, so I kept adding it until I was happy with it. Let that dry completely overnight because stain does tend to take a while. To fill the basket, I went to Hobby Lobby to get that long piece of, I guess it's like a boxwood that I normally get, but they didn't have it. So I was walking around in the garland aisle and I found this long piece of garland and I thought that's a lot of greenery for $10. So I went ahead and picked one of these up. And all I'm going to be doing is cutting off chunks of it and kind of hanging it over. I wanted my greenery to kind of be hanging out of this basket. So I will just keep adding until I have my desired look, and I still had a ton left over that I could use for other projects. And here's a look at the final basket. So our next project is going to be a chair that was actually upstairs in my master bathroom. And I originally probably picked it up at a flea market or an antique store, but it needed some updating. So what I decided to do with it was add 2 coats of Waverly white chalk paint to the whole entire chair. Next, I wanted to have some fun with some stencils that I already had on hand. So that top layer, I wanted to tape that off. So I just took some painter's tape and I taped around the edge so I just had that front piece showing. Next, I'm going to be using this buffalo check stencil that I used around Christmas time, and I will link all these stencils in the description box if you guys are interested. But I'm just going to tape this buffalo check stencil down to the top portion of my chair. Next, I'm going to come in with maybe 1.5 coats of this black acrylic paint, and I'm just going to use one of my foam brushes to put that on the top part of this chair. Next, I'm going to simply remove the stencil and the tape around the top of the chair. Now, to add a fun little stencil on the seat of this, I had this 3-part stencil, and I'm just going to be using the top part where it has the chick. And I'll just tape that stencil to the center of my chair, and I don't measure it, I just kind of eyeball it so it's right directly in the center. And I will tape around the edges and use that black acrylic paint to stencil in the little chick. Once that had completely dry, I took it outside and used my electric sander to sand around the edges. Now you guys know I like to seal pieces that I'm going to be sitting on or gonna have a lot of wear and tear. I'm going to be coming in with Annie Sloan clear wax, and I'm just going to take a rag, dip it into the clear wax, and I'm gonna wipe it onto my chair. And I want a really thin layer of the clear wax. Let it dry completely overnight. Sometimes wax takes a couple of days to harden, but it's gonna create a nice surface so that you're able to clean that chair. And here's a look at my final chair. All right, you guys, leave me a comment below and let me know which one of these 3 projects was your favorite. Mine was probably the sign, I would have to say. And if you're interested in Ring Doorbell, I'll leave all the info in the description box below. If you're new to my channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button so that you get notified anytime I post a video. And if you missed our last DIY, I'm gonna link it right here so you guys can just click here and go watch that video next. And I'll talk to you guys in our next one. Bye!